About being human, one of the things that we spend a lot of time preventing ourselves from being fully human is keeping our distance from others, being worried about things. Essentially, scams are going around all the time. How do we improve this situation? Well, we work on trust. And our next speaker, our first in-person keynote speaker, is going to speak about enabling trust, connecting business. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a big ConnectGov welcome to General Manager, Intelligent Technology at Ant Group, Derrick Loy.
Thanks, Joe. All right, will do. Hi, very good morning to all of you. It's a real pleasure to be here. And I just want to say that I'm very happy, for many reasons. But first and foremost, is the ability to, attend in person an event like this. I'll be honest as well that this is not the first major conference or event that I've attended in person. I just came back from Hangzhou. I was there for about 3 months. And over there, I have attended multiple events, some probably 30 times the size of this. But there's a key difference. And the key difference is that over here, I see a lot more familiar faces. I've made a lot more new friends, and we have a lot more localized discussions. Over there, I just probably know my colleagues. So that to me is the reason why I'm really happy to be here. So thank you, Rama. Thank you, David, for inviting me. So just a quick introduction. My name is Derrick Loy. I'm the GM for Intelligent Technology from Ant Group. We are the business unit that's responsible for delivering all the capabilities that's powering the end services, such as Alipay, our digital bank, our financing services, and in many cases, we are also powering a lot of the Alibaba services. Right? So a lot of these capabilities that we have today, my business unit is now responsible for delivering it to business customers outside of China. So my scope is on the international business, and I'm really happy to be here today to share with you some of our perspective. So the theme for my discussion today is enabling trust, connecting business. And let me start off with a quick context. So today we all are aware that we are in Industry 4.0, and it has been said many times, right? And I think we all agree from the discussion yesterday that data is the currency of the new digital economy. But if I may argue, I personally also feel strongly that there's actually too much data today, right? And with the COVID pandemic, some of us are now calling it endemic, it has actually driven more of these transactions online. And that actually means that there's a lot more data, there's a lot more options. Just to give you an example, right? When you want to order food, to your home, there's Grab, there's Foodpanda, there's Deliveroo, right? So there are options. Which option would you choose? End of the day, it's actually down to trust. Because today, we have many options. Ultimately, you will make a choice based on the data that you have, the insight from the data that you have, the impression from the data that you have, to ultimately let your finger do the talking, right? And tap on the option that will bring a smile to your face, the option that you trust. So in that sense, Ant actually has this perspective that it is actually trust, digital trust, that's the currency of the new digital economy. And therefore, we strongly believe that trust will also be the key enabler to actually accelerate adoption of the digital economy, and vice versa, trust will be the key enabler that will help us all to re-emerge from this COVID pandemic. Just a quick introduction. Most of you know us, but if I may, Ant Group is a world-leading, fintech company. Right? We have developed and we are the operator of Alipay, which I hope most of you are using, and RWS has definitely been a key partner for us there. But beyond that, we have also introduced other capabilities and services, such as the digital banking, which will be rolling out next year. We have also recently introduced NChain Plus, which is all about enabling trust, connecting businesses with a portfolio of industry use cases and innovations that's built on underlying trusted technology component, such as enterprise blockchain, such as AI ML, such as AIoT, and risk management. We call ourselves Ant because we truly believe that small is beautiful, right? So we have always been very focused on enabling SMEs. And all of us know that in this COVID pandemic, SMEs are the most affected. And SMEs are typically 60 to 70% of any country's GDP. So this is an area where we are very focused on in order to enable these SMEs to join the digital bandwagon, thereby helping and working with them to re-emerge from COVID. We don't really believe in delivering solutions or technologies as technologies. We believe that in today's digital age, it's all about providing the right use cases, the right solutions that's based on underlying technology components that give you trust, to then deliver a capability, a set of capability that address a specific industry needs. And I would like to go through a few examples. So these are the building blocks for NChain Plus. And you might wonder why NChain Plus, right? It's because we actually have a suite of capability that is more than just blockchain. So on the left side, right, you will see that we have obviously an underlying blockchain as a service that's available today on Alibaba Cloud, right, which is delivered across the world, right? So we have 6 nodes around the world today. And on top of this, we have built use cases for enterprise blockchain. Some of our best, or what I call more well-adopted use cases would be, for example, starting from the left, the traceability as a service. This is the ability to track and trace assets of high value from source to destination, ensuring that there's no replacement, no substitution, in some cases, no leakage, which is really important. And in many cases, because these are assets of high value, in some there's also immutability, and in some cases, ability for recall. Right? So this is one of our key capabilities today that's very well adopted. And I'll just name some examples. So vaccine traceability from lab to arm, right? Vaccines need to be transported in optimal temperature as well as humidity conditions. So our service actually, we actually partners with other vendors to deliver solutions, boxes that actually provides the optimal condition to ship the vaccine from lab to arm, and ensuring there's no leakage in between, as well as the ability to recall some of these defective vaccines. Another area that is very well adopted here would be more regards to food chain and this cold chain. So I will not talk too much about that because it's quite easy to understand. Trustable is something which I'm very proud and very happy to share with you too, because it is a supply chain financing platform that we are working with 11 banks and wallets around the world to offer to SME customers to enable them to perform digital trade. Trustable essentially is where we have digitized and automate the BPU process, right? The business payment undertaking between a supplier and a buyer, fully automated end-to-end, so that they can make payment. And these payments are based upon the milestones of shipment, because this is integrated with the supply chain. We have also various banks that have also come on board to offer their financing services to this SME when they want to make the digital trade. All right, so DBS, OCBC, this Maybank, as well as even BBVA in Spain. Right, these are some of the participating banks. They are now offering this supply chain finance platform to their SME customers. Another area that is really taking off in today's what you call new normal is our content protection, content monetization, and copyright protection service. And I'll give you an example later. I believe that will help you to understand more. And last but not least, to round off, would be the NFT tokenization, which again, I don't think needs any explanation. That is pretty well what you call the hot news today. So that is our blockchain portfolio that is infused with AI. But on the other hand, we also have a portfolio that's non-blockchain. And these are essentially built upon data analytics, AIoT. I'll just quickly go through some of them here. So starting from the extreme right, eSign. Think of it as the competitor to DocuSign and Adobe Sign, all right, for smart contract e-signatures. But the key difference for us is that we actually don't integrate it to a mailbox. We believe mailboxes can be faked, can be spam, right? We actually integrate it with EKYC. The second solution that is a hot seller for us is EKYC, right? So that I will have some use cases to share later. But we also offer mobile endpoint protection, because we clearly see that today a lot more transactions, even secure transactions, sensitive transactions, are moving on to perform from the mobile endpoint. Third, AML, anti-money laundering. So together with various banks around Asia, we are part of AML Alliance, and we are providing this as a service to both enterprise customers as well as to other banks. Last but not least, risk control. So crucial today, because with a lot more digital banking, financing, microfinancing services coming up, how do you know the credit rating of your customers, potential customers? How much to borrow or how much to lend them? What duration, what interest, what is the probability of bad debt? These are areas or what they call capabilities that we do provide by combining local data or different sources of aggregated data and running through different algorithms and training of the data sets to derive at this final insights. Now, as you can see, a very rich portfolio, but I just want you to take away here that it is both blockchain as well as non-blockchain solutions that's infused with AI, data analytics, IoT capabilities, and we run on any cloud. So we are cloud agnostic, and we do have services that actually runs on AWS, Azure, to customers in this region. So let me now just go through a couple of use cases just to keep things interesting. EKYC, right? Facial recognition, identity verification. Hong Kong has just introduced a law that by March of next year, all telco and banks have to perform EKYC for their customers, right? So this is a law that has actually prompted a huge, demand and take-up of our services in Hong Kong. But we foresee that this will eventually be adopted throughout the region, because at the end of the day, COVID is forcing all of us to go into what you call a minimal contact, mode of operation. And EKYC exactly allows you to do that. Just a quick product demo. So I have 3 videos, but I'm just going to show the one in the middle here, where we, other than the usual facial recognition, identity verification, it is actually also very easy to upload your own profile, right? Your own capability your own profile. Now this is, what you're seeing now is where, the profile is being uploaded, all right, by potential customers that we already have across ASEAN, right? So today we are being adopted by all countries across ASEAN, and subsequently the facial verification can be done in a simple manner like this. The solution that we have is called Zolos, and it has achieved all the necessary certifications and recognitions. So therefore it complies with global standards, right? And that gives a lot of assurances to our customers. And last but not least, when it comes to EKYC, it's all about the accuracy. It's all about the security, right? And this is where we have constantly been leading in terms of market standards. I spoke earlier about supply chain finance, but just to give you a pictorial view, all right, it is the digitization and automation of the BPU process, end-to-end between a buyer and a supplier, bringing in the participating banks so that the letter of credit is also automated. The supply chain, in terms of the logistic payment, the milestones are also integrated into this end-to-end process. The key benefit is that in the past, if an SME in Singapore would like to actually buy from an SME in China, it will take about 4 weeks to actually get this whole process completed. Today, they are able to do so within 3 to 4 days. That's the impact that this has brought to SMEs. It truly helps to promote digital trade across borders. We have 11 banks and wallets that are participating today, all right? And we have also built an underlying blockchain transmission network that's enhanced to actually support, expedite, as well as reduce, latency, jitter, for these communications among the 11 banks. On this platform, we also offer the ability for you to do a credit history check on any SME in China. So this is very popular today because SME are still buying, especially from SMEs in China for certain raw materials. And sometimes you would like to know what is the credit profile of these SMEs, right? So this is a capability that will return results within seconds. Next, let me just give you an illustration of our content and copyright protection. And this is very interesting because, we are all not only working from home, but we are also entertaining from home, right? I cannot share with you how many hours of Netflix I watch, but definitely it's significantly more than previously, right? So with that, definitely there's a need to protect digital content against what they call pirated screening, unlicensed screening, broadcasting. And this is very important because at the end of the day, we want to allow these original content creators to monetize their content so that they are continuously encouraged to develop new content for us to enjoy, right? So that is so important. Now, beyond that, our capabilities or our solutions have also recently been adopted by UEFA. So most of you, or some of you who have watched Euro 2020, right, as well as the recent Nations League. So all these sports events, or the soccer matches are actually protected by our solutions so that the original licensed, stations or licensed media provider are protected for the huge amount of licensees they have paid to UEFA to screen these matches. So what we do here is essentially content protection, which is about providing video DNAs, watermarks, right, to such content so that we can identify them. But at the same time, we believe that that is not what we want to do primarily. The area that we are more focused on is actually on content monetization, because it's all about encouraging the licensed distribution of original content. And the capability that we have in this area will be around rights ID and channel ID. Right? Rights ID is all about understanding, right, the profile, the demographics of the audience, and then with that the data to be able to then claim the revenue from YouTube, from Facebook, or now it's called Meta, from TikTok, when this content is viewed on some of this partner platform, right? So that's rights ID. It allows for monetization, all right, of such content. Now, we also have channel ID, which is more about distribution and optimizing the right channel for distribution of certain videos. Now, in regards to traceability, which is another area that we're doing very well, it's all about sustainable traceability, all right? And then last but not least, AIoT. We are the proud partner to Costco, Hapag-Lloyd, and EPSA in rolling out a global EBL platform, right, called GSBN. And this is where recently we have added DBS, HSBC, as well as Bank of China, right, to this global shipping network called GSBN. All right, and these are some of the capabilities that we have towards tracking and tracing the containers, together with the right AI and blockchain-infused sensors in order to truly automate the end-to-end logistics and supply chain. So that's all. I just wanted to make it interesting by including some use cases. Now, I know some of you would think that this is a very broad portfolio. It is. And that's why the best way that we could actually capture this is to position ourselves as an enabler of digital trust, right? The various capabilities and portfolio that you have seen earlier is all about enabling digital trust, therefore connecting business. Thank you so much. I would love to connect with you offline later.
Thank you very much, Derrick. Can we give Derrick another round of applause, please? Well done.